Head out to the Plains. Auburn, they lose 24-14 to Arkansas. We're gonna get into it here. We're gonna deep dive on this Auburn big visit weekend. Yes, it seems like every weekend is a big visit weekend when you start the season out with 5 home games. All right, Auburn fans, they've been regulars at these Auburn games, Steve, but so is Duce Knight. Duce Knight, who's committed to Notre Dame, has made his 3rd visit to Auburn over the weekend. Now, Auburn loses. They throw a whole bunch of picks. I could see how Duce Knight could look at that and be like, wow, my path to playing time is there. Do you think that Duce Knight looks at the opportunity that he has, or does he see a struggling program?
Look, he's going to be back at Auburn for his official visit this coming weekend when the Tigers host Oklahoma. So it's an opportunity for Auburn to have a great performance against a really good opponent at home. And the recruit section is going to be rocking. Auburn's got a big visit weekend lined up for Oklahoma. Auburn's got big recruiting weekends every weekend. It doesn't matter the opponent, from Alabama, A&M to Arkansas to Oklahoma. And this will be Duce Knight's 4th visit to Auburn this month. 5th visit going back to the end of July when you lump in Big Cat weekend. I think he certainly sees an opportunity to play right away for Auburn, and that's certainly an opportunity for him to come in and compete and play with a nice group of young receivers. And he has the skill set that Hugh Freeze is looking to be successful with at the quarterback position. I think he's going to visit Notre Dame for the Stanford game. I'm hearing that visit is in play, and so I expect him back in South Bend for the first time since the summer. He took a couple visits to Notre Dame in the spring and summer. I expect him back for the Stanford game. So we'll see what that means in his recruitment. Does he shut it down before that? Obviously, Auburn would love to see that happen, but Auburn having dialogue with other quarterbacks just in case Duce Knight in this recruitment goes sideways. He's obviously their number one target. He is not committed to Auburn or decommitted from Notre Dame. Everything remains status quo with Notre Dame. His conversation with the coaching staff, there are other commits. And look, Notre Dame originally wanted to get him back for the Louisville game. Now they're going to get him back for the Stanford game. Ole Miss lying in the weeds for Duce Knight as well. So we'll see what happens. Again, I think the intel favors Auburn here with all the visits, him talking to other recruits about potentially playing with him at Auburn. All that stuff's true. He just has not backed off his commitment to Notre Dame and has a return visit to South Bend on the radar that would come after 5 straight visits to Auburn. Excuse me, it's not 5 straight because he mixed in an Ole Miss visit. We'll see if Ole Miss gets him back for a game this weekend. I just think Duce wants to make sure he's making the right decision. Again, he had a transfer situation his junior year where he left Mississippi to come to Tennessee to play some high school football. It didn't go well. So I think that when he makes his final decision where he wants to play college football, he wants to be absolutely sure. And he's sitting in a position where he doesn't have to feel rushed to make that final position for where he's at on these recruiting boards. And then the thing I keep going back to is, talking to his dad earlier in the season, the opportunity to play in the SEC is something that's very exciting to Duce Knight. But is it enough to get him to back off a commitment to Notre Dame and go to Auburn or Ole Miss? We'll see. Another visit coming up to Auburn, and then, expected back at Notre Dame for the Stanford game.
All right, let's talk about Caleb Cunningham, the 5-star wide receiver committed to Alabama that at one time named Auburn his leader. That was a while ago now, but Caleb Cunningham, committed to Alabama at the end of the summer, was on the Plains, visited for this game. What are you hearing coming out of this trip?
Well, he talked to Auburn Live and Cole Pinkston after his official visit and said that there's a question mark at Auburn at the quarterback position, and he still needs to see some stuff from the Tigers before he could seriously consider playing for them over Alabama. He believes in Alabama's offense. He believes in Alabama's quarterback depth chart, pointed to Keelan Russell specifically. Then certainly his future position coach, Jamarcus Shepard, his track record is about as strong as anybody's in college football of developing the wide receiver position. Now, Auburn, he's had some great visits. He gets along well with the young receivers in the room. He said if Duce Knight were to flip to Auburn, maybe that could help. But it's obvious that Auburn is still playing from behind with Caleb Cunningham right now.
Yeah, you can tell that's happening. There was an official visitor on campus, offensive lineman Nelson McGuire. He left campus saying Auburn leads. So is this a priority target for the Tigers?
Yeah, they love Nelson McGuire. And even before that official visit, there was some buzz behind the scenes that Auburn is the program to beat for him. They would love to add him and Andrew Babalola. Look, this is a program that's still trying to get right and add all the competitive championship pieces to the program. I think they love the offensive linemen that they have in the fold right now, headlined by Broderick Shull. Ty Buster was a recent riser in the on 300, Tavares Dice, and they want to add McGuire and Babalola to the fold.